Well, good morning everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. I wanted to give you guys a little update, a little Tundra lift update. We did a little rearranging out here in the garage, and that was primarily due to the Tundra. And I've got a couple of lifts out here, and 3 cars to put under them. Of course, the Honda, the Jeep out there. My camera might be fogging. Okay, I think I took care of that problem. The lens on the camera was fogging because it's humid out here. Anyway, we had a problem. The lift over here was too low to be able to fit the Jeep out there under it. So we decided to put some blocks underneath the feet here to raise it up a bit, and we got it up probably about 6 inches. And then didn't really feel that that was safe. The lift was kind of unstable. It kind of wobbled around a little bit. And, you know, the old thought of wood cracking and somehow flying out from underneath the legs. Do I really think that would happen? No, but we decided to change it anyway. So got to looking at the setup out here and realized that the lift here for the truck was too far forward in the garage. In other words, the truck would fit, but if you tried to put the truck on the lift, it would not fit because it would have to go too far forward in the garage. And as you can see here, it barely fits up there now. I mean, we are pretty close to the edge. Matter of fact, even touching this little member here. And that's only because it's not pulled up perfectly straight. There is a little room over here, but man, you only have, what, about 2 inches or so to be able to get that thing placed exactly right on the lift. And then the other problem here is the length of the truck. I mean, it is right edge to edge, if you can see here, on the platform for the lift. So you pretty much have to get it about dead on to be able to get it on the lift. What it really needs, I suppose, is probably a wider and longer lift, but realistically that's not feasible. So unless you want to take up the whole garage, I guess, for just one lift and spend a fortune. But we did move the truck lift back about, I think it was about 20 inches to be able to keep the truck positioned in the garage where it was, where it would fit in the garage, and be able to sit on top of the lift. Now, in doing that, we also enabled enough height over here, you know, to be able to pull the Jeep in underneath the truck. So that means we didn't need any extensions or blocks or anything underneath the legs to be able to pull the Jeep in. There's plenty of clearance room now for the Jeep. So, given that, we took the blocks off of the, I guess what was the Jeep side of the garage, and we're now able to put the Honda under here. And that works just fine, of course, because the Honda is much lower. And that still gives me the option, if I want to be able to put something on the top lift over here someday, if I get something else. So it worked out pretty good, and you guys can see there's plenty of clearance. The lift is pretty much all the way up now, but it could even come down another, oh what, probably 10, 12 inches to enable something taller to sit on the top without interfering with the garage, you know, roof and ceiling and door and all that good stuff. So plenty of room out here now to be able to store 4 cars if you wanted to. Now you can't go crazy, of course, and I couldn't put another Tundra up here, but I could put possibly even a smaller truck up there, or another Jeep, or another car, or whatever. Pretty much open-ended for what we can do on this side. Now, the one other thing that I want to mention, even without the blocks on the feet of the lift, it was still unstable. It would move around. And one thing that I noticed when we were pulling the truck in, trying to get it perfect, you know, on the lift, the guy that was pulling it in kind of hit the brakes as he was going, and the whole lift slid forward because it was braking, you know, underneath the truck. In other words, the front tires of the truck were on the lift when the brakes were hit, and it just kind of slid. So that kind of solidified to me that, yeah, we probably do need to bolt the lifts down just to make them even more stable, and not to have something like that happen, because we do have them positioned where we want them in the garage. So we did put bolts in the outside corners of each lift. As you guys can see there, they go all the way through the concrete, and they kind of have, I don't know what they're called, maybe an anchor bolt, but they have a piece of steel on the bottom that springs out underneath the concrete, and then you bolt the lift down to that. So we did do that on both lifts. Now you might be asking, why didn't we do that on the inside? Well, the reason is because when you pull in, especially the truck, sometimes you actually run over the edge, just barely, but the edge of the feet there. And in doing that, if you have a bolt, give you guys a closer up view, if you have a bolt that's sticking out of the ground that high, you're probably going to damage your tire. Either pop it, or at least take some chunks out of it every time you run over that on the side. And unfortunately, that does happen. So we decided to leave the inside bolts off. Now, you could have used something else, or even possibly cut the top of the bolt off, but you still would have something sticking out of the ground there. So that's why we did it that way, trying to alleviate any kind of tire problem. We don't have that problem over here with the Honda because it's narrower, as you can see, but still the potential to be able to do that if maybe you're just having a bad day and you don't pull in right. So that's a little bit of an update on the lift. Let me show you guys the exhaust tips. That project continues. I put the second coat on today. You can see right up there and right up there. I will say on the initial coat on this one, I do have some rougher patches, you know, where the paint kind of came together. I should have gone in one fluid motion around the corner here, you know, the part that you can see. But I didn't. I kind of went halfway, stopped, and then halfway the other way, and where the two strokes come together, you can kind of see. That bugs me a little bit. You probably can't even see it on video, but I'll probably be able to fix that with the next set of coats that I put on. The only downside, unfortunately, with this paint, it takes about 24 hours to dry, so I can only put one coat on per day. So at that rate, this wouldn't be done until sometime over the weekend, assuming I put on 4 or 5 coats. It is fairly thick paint, so I may stop at 3, which would be tomorrow, depending on when this video comes out. So that's an update on the lifts. That's an update on the truck. Probably what I'm going to do, to be quite honest, since the truck is such a tight fit on the lift here, you guys can see, I mean, it does fit, and I do like that I'll be able to use the lift for the truck if I want to. But what I'll probably do is put the Honda back up above the truck, just like it is now, and then put the Jeep on top of this lift. So we'll just lower this to the ground, put the ramps on, and pull in and out on top of the lift for the Jeep for now. And without the feet being raised, there's no big issue of being able to pull in and out and have to worry about, you know, hitting the mirrors on the sides. It pulls in and out here between the columns, which will be the same, they're the same width, without any issue now. So it'll just be a matter of getting the truck underneath over here, which we've done before, so shouldn't be any problem. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update. A few folks have been asking what's going on with the lifts, what did you decide to do, and what's going on with the exhaust tips. So that covers both. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't before, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day. Bye.